Like, that's the thing, this trial, the sentencing, the verdict, all the hyperbole, all of the pomp and circumstance, all of the this, all of that, it means nothing. It means nothing. This was all done for the public's entertainment. This was all done to get people like me to be quiet. This was all done to give weirdos like Vladimir Lyuski and Torre the ability to constantly challenge and try to check my veracity, my actuality, my truth, and to get the public to not believe whistleblowers like me.
Jaguar just dropped a bomb. She's leaked court documents tied to an upcoming lawsuit that Diddy is reportedly desperate to suppress. According to her, the music mogul is criminally liable for years of misconduct, and she isn't about to let him slip through the cracks.
Plus Diddy's getting sentenced to 4 years. Does Cassie get justice in all this? Does that look like...
Still not enough. Still not enough. And it's wild because she's getting such a better deal than dear Lee Cordell Smith is.
30 million and your perpetrator gets 50 months? I mean...
Still not enough.
Jeez.
Her life is never gonna be the same.
See, that's the thing. All the trial theatrics, the sentencing announcements, the media frenzy, the dramatic verdicts, the pomp, the circumstance, it's all for show. According to Jaguar, it's all entertainment. It's all designed to make people like her quiet, to give people like Vladimir Lusky a platform to constantly question her credibility, to challenge her truth, and to ensure the public ignores whistleblowers. This isn't about Diddy alone, she says. It's about everyone else who's been able to hide behind him. Despite Diddy's 4-year sentence, Jaguar argues it's nothing compared to the magnitude of his actions. Cassie, for instance, she says, didn't get the justice she deserved. Diddy allegedly committed crimes over 2 decades, and yet all he received was a light sentence in a low-security camp. Jaguar claims this is a miscarriage of justice. Cassie risked her life exposing him, and the system, according to Jaguar, failed her. Still, people keep asking, does that even look like justice? She says no. Lee Cordell Smith reportedly got a far harsher outcome compared to Diddy's settlement. $30 million for one victim, 50 months for Diddy. Jaguar thinks that's still not enough, and she points out that Cassie's life will never be the same. People are going to find ways to exploit her settlement, forcing her to spend every penny. Jaguar stresses, this trial was a show from start to finish. Jaguar claims the feds had a mountain of evidence but presented almost none of it in court. Even Diddy, she says, wasn't taking it seriously. Right before his sentencing, his lawyers revealed he had a speaking engagement in Miami. Jaguar points out he was scheduled to speak at a school, a children's school. She says it's shocking that a registered sex offender would be allowed near kids. The irony, she says, is staggering. According to her, the school, some independent charter in Miami Gardens, planned to invite him to talk to students from kindergarten through 12th grade. Jaguar emphasizes he's on the sex offender registry. He isn't legally allowed around children, yet somehow, people wanted him to speak to them. It's a glaring example, she says, of how the system seems blind when fame is involved. Diddy, Jaguar claims, can no longer escape accountability. She notes that over 100 civil lawsuits are lined up against him, and she predicts these cases will eventually spark criminal investigations. Karma, according to her, is finally catching up. Diddy may have settled quickly with Cassie, one day after her case was filed, but Jaguar insists his wealth cannot settle 100 cases. She questions why so many of these cases remain civil rather than criminal. Just because someone receives a payout doesn't mean the crimes should go unpunished. She likens it to O.J. Simpson's case, acquitted criminally but liable civilly. Civil or criminal, Jaguar argues, the acts themselves demand accountability. And then there's the evidence. Jaguar says the feds collected computers, bottles of baby oil, drugs, firearms. Yet none of it was presented to the jury. She stresses, if the authorities wanted to, Diddy could have faced life in prison. But instead, much of it was redacted, kept off the record, or ignored, she claims. Jaguar recalls testimony, court documents, and situations that were omitted, all pointing to Diddy's culpability. The federal guidelines recommended 9 years, yet he got 4. Jaguar says the judge, the same who denied him bail 6 times, suddenly granted him a light sentence while urging him to be a changed man. According to her, this confirms the trial's performative nature. She highlights the public spectacle, video montages, emotional testimonies, lawyers on the verge of tears praising Diddy's character. Jaguar emphasizes it was nothing more than a show designed to manipulate perception. She adds that despite cooperation with authorities, Diddy cannot negotiate his way out of future scrutiny. The pending civil suits will continue, and according to her, Diddy is already trapped by his own actions. Jaguar reveals a particularly striking angle, Derek Lee Cordell Smith. This man sued Diddy for $100 million and won. Now, Jaguar says, he's collaborating with her to take Diddy down further. He reportedly has receipts and evidence and will no longer be silenced. According to Jaguar, this is a turning point. She recounts Diddy's desperate moves, visiting Derek in jail under an alias, allegedly trying to influence or negotiate with him before raids on his properties. Jaguar interprets these actions as proof of fear and attempts to manipulate outcomes. She describes Diddy as a fixer, someone orchestrating deals behind the scenes while pretending to comply with the law. Fort Dix Prison, Jaguar says, is Diddy's backup plan. A low-security camp, it could allow him opportunities if civil suits escalate. She underscores that Diddy has wealth, but even that cannot protect him indefinitely. Jaguar warns the system may be weak in places, but civil accountability and legal persistence are stronger than fame and fortune. Then there's prison life. TMZ Jaguar notes, reports Diddy was caught drinking homemade alcohol, despite claiming sobriety in court. She says this behavior could jeopardize early release programs at Fort Dix. According to her, this is evidence that Diddy is reverting to old habits, undermining any claims of reform. Jaguar details his prison assignments, laundry duty, manual labor, a sharp contrast to his past life of luxury. Lawyers deny this, she says, but sources insist these are facts. Diddy's management has attempted damage control, issuing statements that deny violations, but Jaguar maintains the actions speak louder than words. Post-release supervision, she emphasizes, will be strict. Diddy will face drug testing, monitoring, regular check-ins, and constant oversight. She predicts any misstep, non-compliance, viewing pornography, or neglecting registration, could land him back in prison. Jaguar stresses that while it isn't life imprisonment, it's still a heavy burden for someone used to total freedom. Jaguar also addresses the threat Diddy faces inside prison. Inmates, she says, often target offenders convicted of crimes against women. According to sources, Diddy was allegedly almost attacked with a knife. She argues this underscores the reality that wealth and fame do not equal protection behind bars. Throughout it all, Jaguar frames herself as vigilant. She's been waiting for years, she says, to see accountability realized. With Derek and over 100 civil lawsuits, she claims, Diddy's fortune and fame won't shield him this time. She urges attention to real-life survivors, the necessity of justice, and the long-term consequences of predatory behavior, but it doesn't stop there. Jaguar says Diddy's troubles are only beginning. He may have a sentence, he may have a reputation, but the lawsuits are stacking up like dominoes, and they're about to topple him. She points out that his fortune, his influence, even his lawyer's best efforts, can't shield him from hundreds of civil cases that are ready to hit the courtroom. According to her, this is a reckoning years in the making. Jaguar reminds everyone this isn't just about money. Diddy may have settled some cases, but the civil suits are the tip of the iceberg. The real danger, she says, lies in criminal implications. The evidence, the receipts, the testimonies that were ignored before, they're not gone, they're waiting, and once they resurface, she warns, Diddy won't just be facing settlements. He'll be facing serious jail time, and this time there's no easy way out. She digs deeper. Diddy's behavior in prison, according to TMZ and other sources, shows he hasn't changed. Homemade alcohol, rule breaking, even the alleged knife incident. Jaguar says it's proof he isn't rehabilitating. She stresses that the prison system might be lenient in some places, but predators like Diddy can't slip through forever. He's on the radar now, and every misstep counts. Then there's the issue of credibility. Jaguar claims Diddy has been trying to manipulate everyone around him. Jail staff, other inmates, lawyers, even the media. He's a strategist, she says, but one whose moves are finally being tracked. This isn't just speculation. She cites Derek Lee Cordell Smith's evidence as proof. Diddy allegedly tried to negotiate with Derek while he was in custody, and Jaguar interprets this as desperation, a sign that he knows the walls are closing in. And let's talk about the public spectacle again. According to Jaguar, the media has played right into Diddy's hands for years. The courtroom theatrics, the emotional videos, the rehabilitated mogul narrative, it's all smoke and mirrors. But the truth, she insists, is buried in court documents, emails, receipts, and testimonies. That's where the real story is, and Jaguar has them. She says she's ready to expose everything, no matter how messy it gets, no matter how powerful Diddy thinks he is. She also points out the hypocrisy in Diddy's appearances. Schools, charity events, public statements, all carefully curated to paint him as a changed man. But Jaguar calls it what it is, a facade. Behind the scenes, she claims, he's doing everything he can to avoid real accountability. From the alleged attempts to influence witnesses to the ongoing legal maneuvers, Jaguar argues that Diddy is trying to rewrite history while surviving in a system that is finally closing in on him. Jaguar warns the public, don't be fooled by his image. She says his fame, his wealth, his connections, they're all temporary shields. The legal system may have allowed him leniency in the past, but with so many cases lining up, with the right evidence, with Derek's collaboration, Diddy is running out of lifelines. According to Jaguar, this is just the start of the storm. Then there's the human cost. Jaguar repeatedly reminds everyone about the victims. She emphasizes the pain, the trauma, the lives affected. She says Diddy's past may be flashy, but the scars left behind aren't just headlines. They're real people, real consequences. Jaguar argues that no amount of money, no amount of PR can erase the impact of decades of alleged misconduct. And she's ready to fight for that truth to be acknowledged. Even Diddy's attempts at redemption, Jaguar claims, are under scrutiny. Every step he takes, every claim of change, every program he enters, it's being watched. She says this isn't about revenge, it's about justice, and in her eyes, Diddy has yet to face the real consequences for his actions. Finally, Jaguar circles back to the bigger picture. This isn't just a story about one man. It's a warning. She stresses that predators who think they can manipulate the system, manipulate the public, or manipulate the media, this is what eventually catches up with them. According to Jaguar, Diddy is a high-profile example, but the principle applies across the board. Accountability isn't optional, justice isn't negotiable, and no amount of money or fame can put you above it. Diddy's era of freedom, she says, is over. Every secret, every hidden deal, every attempt to avoid scrutiny, it's all at risk. And for the first time, she believes Diddy may not have a way out. The countdown, according to her, has begun. Jaguar isn't holding back anymore. She says Diddy isn't just facing lawsuits and civil claims. He's staring down a reputation that may never recover. Every move he makes is under a microscope. Every handshake, every meeting, every media appearance. There are eyes on him, cameras rolling, documents ready to drop, and she's making it clear this isn't speculation. This is strategy, this is evidence, this is history in motion. Jaguar points out that Diddy's past decisions are haunting him like shadows that refuse to fade. From lavish parties to high-profile events, from private settlements to public PR stunts, she argues it all adds up to a man trying desperately to outrun the consequences, but you can't outrun them forever. She says the pattern is clear: manipulation, intimidation, avoidance, and now, according to her, the law, the courts, and the public are finally catching up. She also lays out the risk for those who enabled him. People who looked the other way, who turned a blind eye to misconduct, who thought money and fame would protect them. They're part of the story too. Jaguar says this is bigger than just Diddy. This is about an entire network of people who profited, stayed silent, or tried to cover up. She claims their protection is gone. Their silence won't shield them. The documents she holds, she warns, will leave no stone unturned. Then there's the fallout within the industry. Jaguar predicts Diddy's influence is shrinking. Not just legally, but culturally. She says the very brands, the music, the events that once carried his name proudly are now reconsidering their association. Corporate partners, collaborators, entertainers, everyone is watching. And they're seeing a man whose empire is cracking under pressure. Jaguar believes that even a billionaire lifestyle can't repair a legacy once the evidence becomes public. And it's personal, too. Jaguar emphasizes the human angle: victims, whistleblowers, people who came forward at great risk. She argues their voices are finally being heard, and they matter more than Diddy's image. This, she says, is why the lawsuits, the civil claims, the potential criminal cases, they're unstoppable. People underestimated them, ignored them, but now they're gaining momentum. And when momentum meets evidence, she says, that's when even someone like Diddy realizes he can't buy his way out. Jaguar also stresses the timing. She says everything is aligning: the civil suits, the criminal possibilities, the media scrutiny, and public awareness. According to her, Diddy's moves are predictable now. His patterns, his defenses, even his PR statements. They're all documented, all analyzed, all ready to be used against him if necessary. She predicts that this alignment is rare, and it's an opportunity that rarely presents itself twice. And she doesn't mince words about what could happen next. She claims that, if the evidence in court is handled correctly, Diddy could face years beyond the 4 he's already serving. Not speculation, she points to precedent, to similar cases, to the documents she and Derek Lee Cordell Smith have in hand. She argues that the system has a chance to finally deliver what she calls true accountability, something she says has been missing for decades. But Jaguar also calls out the public's perception. She says people are distracted by the glitz, the glam, the celebrity allure. They see the court appearances, the emotional videos, the headlines, but they don't see the mountain of evidence quietly stacking up behind the scenes. She warns, don't be fooled by appearances. She insists that Diddy's fame is no shield, and for the first time, she believes his wealth can't buy him silence or freedom. Finally, Jaguar issues a warning that echoes throughout Section 3. Diddy may be in prison now, but his actions outside those walls, the legal battles waiting in the wings, the survivors demanding justice, these are unstoppable forces. She says this isn't just a trial. This isn't just a story. This is a reckoning. And in her eyes, Diddy is running out of time, running out of options, running out of luck. Every secret, every hidden document, every missed opportunity to settle quietly, it's all coming back, and she promises nothing will be safe from scrutiny. The lawsuits are lined up, the evidence is ready, and Diddy's empire is about to be tested like never before. She's watching, she's documenting, and she's not letting up. This time, she says, justice isn't optional. This time, Diddy won't escape.